welcome to Happy Hour with Ruth.
And Roxy.
And a new pup.
And he's sleeping, but I will raise his face. There he is.
He's very cute.
I'll go back to sleep.
Yeah.
And I'll show you, I don't know if you can see that from here. You can't. I'll take pictures of it.
She's got scars.
I'm like bleeding all over the house because of puppy teeth, and I can't wait until they fall out and get replaced with teeth that aren't sharp.
Yeah, but Neo is very cute.
Neo is very cute. He's a very good boy. He goes down and pees where he's supposed to pee some of the time.
Most of the time. But also, it's why this will be a little bit of a shorter episode, because it took a little bit of a while for all four dogs to settle down, because Chalupa, my dog, one of my dogs, wants to give Neo those kind of adult hugs that doggies give each other.
And Neo does not have the hips for that yet.
No. And Luna is the fun police, so she barks at everybody. And Scruffy runs around like the Tasmanian devil. And it was like, honestly, for 20 minutes, it was chaos.
It was chaos. And then Neo's like, ooh, that's a shoe I haven't chewed on. I'm going to get that shoe also and chew on that one. So I'm up and down. And he seems to have settled down, but now he seems to be waking up.
But now he's curious because we're talking.
Because we're talking. Yeah.
Okay, so
but he is a pretty boy, isn't he?
He is very pretty.
He's
also very smart. Just so you know, it's not just pretty.
He's a Moyen standard, and Moyen is either a French or a German word. I should look that up.
Oh, yeah.
I thought it was German, but Ray told me it was French, meaning medium. And it's breeders are, some standard poodle breeders are doing that now to get sort of smaller dogs in their line. So he's a standard poodle, but he's going to be smaller.
Right.
Not going to be a big 75-pound male. He'll be a 40, 45-pound dog.
And what's his full name?
Neo Valentine. And his full name is Neo Valentine, and I mentioned this in the last one, I think, and I was then told that I wasn't cleared to mention it from my publisher, but it's too late. We've signed the contract, so everything's good. So my book, A Dog Called Valentine, has been picked up by a development company, and it's a little bit of a slightly unusual deal. It's more like an indie company. Usually they have a place in mind where they're going to sell a movie. These people are going to make the movie on their own dime and then sell it probably to Hallmark. But it is being made into a movie. It's apparently being scripted right now, and it's set to be filming starting soon in Ontario somewhere.
Oh, cool. That's exciting.
Yeah, but they will not let me come on set because of COVID rules. So also...
COVID rules?
I know. It's just
It's a thing.
It's a thing. Whatever.
It's a thing. Okay, what are we drinking today, Rox?
Today we are drinking Culmina Hypothesis from Ruth's cellar, because it is chilly outside and we
time
feel
for red.
Like red wine. And also it's been a week, and so
it has been a week.
It has been a week.
It's been a week.
So we're looking for some wine with some substance, and this is really, really nice.
Yes.
It's quite lovely.
Okay, so what shall we talk about first? Shall we talk about the Wiener Tower restaurant in South Carolina, or do we talk about the clown face copyrights? What do we want to talk about first?
Oh my goodness. The clown face copyrights is just friggin' weird. Copyright means something to me. So when I
let me check, maybe it's trademark. Let me just make sure what the word is.
It does say trademark,
yeah,
actually.
okay, so trademark, but still.
But still, yeah.
It's still.
So when they came to me and said, when my publisher came to me and said, what's the copyright information? How did they put it? We're signing the contract, because my contract with the publisher includes film rights, so the publisher has the rights. So I don't do any negotiation with anybody on that. So the publisher came back to me and said, what's the copyright situation with The Dog Called Valentine? And I'm like, copyright 2018 by Roxanne Snow. What are you asking for?
Yeah, you're the publisher.
And then I realized I went back to my contract, and my contract says the author is responsible for registering it with the U.S. Copyright Office if you want to.
Oh.
I didn't do that. I've never done that with any of my books. I immediately did it with this one, though.
Yeah.
So they could have the copyright.
Right.
All that stuff. Right. So anyway, I'm always alive to copyright issues, except film is a different animal. Anyway, So Ruth sends me this thing about clown trademarks. You talk about it.
Yeah. So apparently, because sort of each clown has each clown that has some profile anyway, right? They do their faces different, and that's how you recognize clowns, right? So apparently, what they have to do for the trademark is they paint it on an egg that's stored in a special clown egg warehouse, and that's how they keep keep a look at the. Well, I'll find that meme and put it up online. But it's really interesting to me that they would do that, but also now I want to do some research. I have questions. Is the warehouse cold because they're eggs?
Are they real eggs?
Are they real eggs? Like,
or
what
are they?
Are they clown face eggs?
Like, they must
many
be
questions.
They can't be real eggs. They can't be.
I don't know, right?
That just seems bizarre. But it's a really interesting idea that they know. Well, also to me, they know their makeup
red wine,
so well.
makes flies go in your drink too.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah.
They don't really do that with white or bubbles.
Oh
I think
no,
bubbles.
Oh, they don't do it with bubbles. Yeah, but they were doing it with white in our place.
Oh, I guess I'm getting extra protein. Damn it. Anyway, sorry, Roxanne, I interrupted.
I don't know what I was saying.
Because it's distracting watching me try to fish out this poor little guy, man.
So the idea of
at least he died happy.
Being able to do your makeup as a clown consistently from one day to the next, I think is pretty cool to begin with. Can I get you a Kleenex over there?
No, I'm okay now.
But I think it's really cool that the makeup is that unique. Mm-hmm. That unique. I mean, unique is a word that's either it is or it isn't. It's not very unique.
She's been working on her book, so she's very specific right now. She's very specific about words.
You can't be a little bit pregnant or a little bit unique.
Right.
Anyway.
But I'm going to do more research because I'd like to know how many they have. Mm-hmm. And I would like to know, is warehouse cold? Are they real eggs? Like, what the hell? See? Inquiring minds want to know.
Who's in charge?
So, oh my God, what if you were in a bar when you were younger and you met somebody and they said, yeah, I'm the manager of the egg clown face warehouse. What would you have done with that? Right? But I'm going to find out more.
You had me at, you were in a bar as a young woman.
Every time we talk about this stuff, Roxanne's like, I would have hated you then.
I was never there.
Oh, you're so funny. But
not my life.
But I'm going to, and these are the things, unfortunately, that too bad I didn't get obsessive about, I don't know, cryptocurrency or investing or something, right? But no, I get obsessed about copyrights. But okay, so then the other thing, let's talk about Bully B.E.A.N.S because that's a really cool one.
Oh, Bully B.E.A.N.S. So I came across this because I've got now 3 grandkids and another one on the way, and so I'm always sort of looking at my kids' book collection and updating it. And I came across this one called Bully B.E.A.N.S, and it's B-E.A.N.S. and it stands for Bullies Everywhere Always are now silent. I think that's what it means. Bullies everywhere are now silent. And it's a kid's story though about a teacher who brings these bully beans, jelly beans, to the classroom and tells her kids, this is when you take this bean, this will help you to remember to not be mean to kids. And if you see someone being mean to someone, you're going to help them. You're going to do something about it. You're going to say them.
That's awesome.
And it started in the story. It starts because there's a kid being picked on at school, and
hey, where are you going? You leave that little dog alone.
They want to start it, and I love that. It's now there's a series. There's a few different books about it, and I think there's actually beans.
There are beans. I saw them when Roxanne was talking about this. I saw them, and it was like that's a really cool thing. And you know what? I've got young ones in my life, like godkids and the kids of friends and nieces and stuff, and so I'm going to get this too because this is a great message to send, right?
Bully B.E.A.N.S reminds children of the power of their voice and how to use it effectively when standing up against bullying. And I feel like I want Bully B.E.A.N.S in my kitchen, and I want one every day so that I can remember
to stand up to bullies.
To stand up to bullies, not be a bully. And
You're
also,
not a bully.
But it's a good reminder.
It is a good reminder, I agree.
And I tend to not say things. I tend to be more quiet when something is...
Ooh. I almost spilled my wine again. Remember last time? And it wasn't even, I had a reason for that. This is,
I'm going to just give you a little anecdote into what it's like to have a puppy in the house. So we're watching TV the other night, and, by 7 or 8 o'clock, he starts to settle down, and he's ready to crash for the night. But he wasn't quite ready. So we're watching TV. I got my supper on the chair next to my table. I got a glass of wine. The dog is more or less quiet. That one's no problem. She's all fine now. And I see him because I'm watching like a hawk. That's the only way to house train a puppy is always be on them, which is why my eyes look so tired. And on the corner of my eye, I see him squatting. So I leap up out of my recliner, and I'm like, stop, no, bad dog. And my recliner goes spinning because it's one of those windy ones.
I wish we had it on tape.
Yeah, and it crashes into the table, which sends my dinner plate shifting over. My wine glass goes flying. There's glass and wine on the floor. The dog is like, if he hadn't pissed on the floor before, he sure was now. And anyway, so
that's what life is like.
Yeah, that's what life is like.
To be fair, it's what life is like with me because I always spill things, so she's kind of used to it.
We have a sort of ongoing trip to IKEA in our. We go to IKEA regularly, and it's usually to buy wine glasses because they're cheap there.
When she says we, she means her and her husband.
No, I don't.
You mean me?
Yes, I mean
I've
you.
only been there with you once.
Yes, but we need to go again soon.
We do need to go because we're out of wine glasses.
I've broken too many wine glasses.
We do need to go. But I just have to say, as we're talking about wine glasses, because it's been a week.
I love that
So
glass.
I have this is a glass from Sala's camp in Kenya, one of the beautiful places that we went to the last time we went on safari, and it's all this beading that's done by the local tribe. But this is my emotional support wine glass.
I love it.
Right?
Oh, that's brilliant. That's brilliant.
It's been a week,
I haven't done any decorating of wine glasses. I've done a few other things, but like looking at that and with the jewelry making stuff that we've got between the two of us, I bet you we could do some cool.
We're gonna do some jewelry too.
Because you don't put that in the dishwasher, obviously.
No.
You wash that by hand.
No,
yeah. So,
but we could do some very cool, very cool stuff.
Maybe that makes it stronger and more resilient to breakage.
Maybe. Could be.
That's good.
Okay. Speaking of stronger and more resilient, Roxanne.
Oh my God.
Would you like to share what's in this?
Yep, sure do.
Come on.
What could be in this? What could be in this? I'm going to just do this. I hate it. I still hate it. And I even knew what was in there. Oh my God.
So I had this on my counter and Roxanne was over last night. And granted, I'm not very good at the subterfuge,
you're
right? I'm
good enough at it.
But I was like, hey, because I was making, so we're doing a, what do we do? Our raclette dinner tomorrow. But for dessert, I make this triple coconut cheesecake, right? So I'm making it.
Amazing.
And then I say to her, hey, I've got some really good vanilla in that box. Can you grab it for me? And I saw the look on her face because she's like, why the hell do you have vanilla in a box?
So you know how your brain works in these little like fragments of milliseconds. So she points to that and she's like, can you get me the vanilla? And in my mind, I'm like, who the hell keeps their vanilla in a box on their island? And what kind of vanilla is it? And as I'm opening it, and I didn't open it as fast as I did before. I opened it slowly, and this thing comes out like that. And I'm like, what the hell kind of vanilla? It's like, oh, what? And then I'm like, oh, I don't like it. I don't like it.
So, just like the cheese, I was practicing this, and our house doctor, Culmina, that comes, and I wanted to practice being like really good at getting somebody to open it, and I said to her, hey, you should see what I got, like check that box. And Culmina said, I can see by the look on your face you're up to something. And then she said, and also I'm on Instagram, I've seen this. Because I think there's a thing, it's just an Instagram account that just does jokes.
Oh my goodness.
It's so funny, but isn't this good? Now nobody's gonna trust me now. Anybody who sees this is gonna know not to open this in my house.
I will fall for everything.
Open it again. Look at her face, it's so good.
I don't like it. My sister and I have both got a horror about bugs, and I'm not great with spiders, I will say, especially big ones like that. And we did this to each other as kids, and I, being the older sister, was the one that generally was the perpetrator. And she fell for it all the time. I had a plastic spider. I put it in her bed. I'm sure my parents must have taken it away eventually because they probably just got mad at the screaming.
Connie, I'm sorry that your sister is so mean.
I was mean. I was a mean big sister. I stuck a tack in her forehead once. In church.
Connie, we definitely need you to talk about this.
I don't know if she remembers. I might have stuck the tack into the memory center. But yeah, so we don't like spiders, and the whole spider thing. Ooh.
Yeah.
Spider in the bed. She'd get ready to go to bed at night. And she'd pull her covers back and scream and go running. Yep. And I would laugh and laugh.
See.
Yeah.
I have a snake in my garden.
This is now.
See.
Karma coming back to bite me.
But I have a snake in the garden, and I got it from my first fairy goddaughter, who I inherited when my mom passed away. She was her godmother, and now she's mine. And I was they had bought a new house, and I was walking around, and apparently the guy that owned the house before had put all these rubber snakes out in the garden, right? What are you doing? I don't trust you.
I'm just laughing because I just realized our mic isn't plugged in.
Well, hopefully the sound works.
Oh, I don't know if the sound is working at all.
It'll be fine. It's funny.
I'm gonna plug it in now.
Okay, we'll plug it in, and I'll just keep telling the story while you're doing this, and I'll just talk really loud. Oh my God! See, it's been a week. So anyway, I'm walking around and seeing their new place and all the things, and she shows me. She's like, every time she walks around, she gets the crap scared out of her because she runs into these fake snakes. Well, I have one, and every time we have a thing in our garden, I put it out, and it always scares the crap out because I just put it peeking its little face out, and its jaws are open. Where we are, we don't have any of those kind of snakes, right?
We don't have any bad snakes.
No, but it is pretty funny to scare people. There's one on, and I might do this with Paul because I get up earlier because you get this crazy mask, right? And you can put it on, and then when they wake up and look at you, I know I have a bad soul.
You have a funny soul. I wouldn't say it's bad.
Oh, no, it might be bad because I laugh and I laugh and I laugh. It's really bad.
Remember what I said at the last one? They laugh in the same language. I don't know what language you're laughing in, but it is.
But and when it scares somebody, which is terrible, because I practiced that one on Paul too, and I scared the crap out of him. He jumped. But the other side is, I get this like snagglepuss laugh where it's like, like this.
She does. She laughed. She laughed so hard she had almost peed herself.
I did. I had to run to the bathroom. Oh my God, it was so funny.
Oh.
Okay, now on a little serious note, but not really serious. So there's a thing that I saw online, and it really made me think, and it made me look at my unconscious biases.
Okay.
Right. So we call presidential candidate, Vice President Kamala Harris. Mm-hmm. Everybody calls her Kamala, and I've got like 5 T-shirts that say Kamala, I gotta say, right?
Mostly, it might partly be because we're trying to help people say it right.
Right, no, that's fair, but I don't call her Harris.
Right.
I call Trump a lot of things, but you know, and then what they said, which was really interesting, was that no one in past elections had ever called Obama Barack.
Right.
They didn't call George Bush George. Yeah. Right? They didn't call Bill Clinton Bill. And so it's really interesting because, like, if you think back to it, and so what this conversation that was happening.
But they call Hillary.
Because she's a woman. But the other side is, like, for me, for Kamala, I have this imaginary relationship with her, right? So I feel like we actually have a relationship. But I think I called Hillary too, and I certainly didn't feel the same. Yeah. I didn't have the same perceived relationship, knowing that. And I promise I'm not a stalker. I realize that Kamala Harris has no idea.
Stalker. Right now, she's only stalking me, so it's okay.
Yes, it's okay. But it was one of those where I was like, isn't that interesting, right? Yeah. Because even Tim Walz, who's a part of that relationship that we think that I see is. I call him Coach Walz. Like if I refer to them, or I say his full name, right? Because his name isn't as well known as hers. Yeah. But it was really interesting to me whether even me, who goes on these incredible rants about equality, I've done exactly what they've said.
So is it because she is more human? More personal, more potentially a real person to us.
But I hope that's most of it. Yeah. But the other thing is, in the little thing I was reading, it was like, ask every female doctor what this is like.
Oh, really?
Most patients call female doctors by their first name.
Really?
And we call other, like, male doctors, Dr. Snowpack.
Oh, that's interesting.
Right? So it would be interesting. I have a female doctor, so next time when I have to go in, I'm going to ask her. Right?
Right? That's interesting.
It's worth thinking about, right?
It is worth thinking about. It absolutely is. Yeah. In our clinic, they've long done, and this started years and years ago, doctor and then the first name. So it's Dr. Ray, it's Dr. Debbie, it's Dr. Lindsay, it's Dr. whoever. And I call my doctor by her actual name. I have called her by her first name though. And I don't know how did I do that? Rami Seminderji. Dr. Right. Would I call her Dr. Rami?
Right.
I just,
But it's interesting, and it really made me. We're doing with a client. We're doing, some work about making sure that all of their policies and that kind of stuff is inclusive, and it's got all these things, and it's respectful. But it is kind of interesting to me that I have a fully conscious equality is equality kind of thing, and yet I was doing it without realizing I was doing it.
Oh, yeah.
Right. So that's it's just it was for me. It was like, huh.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Because sometimes you hear unconscious bias, and for stuff, especially around equality, I think, come on, man, I'm good. Why are we getting thumbs up on things? When that happens, I feel like we've gone live accidentally.
I do not know. I do not know. Somebody else told me about the thumbs up thing. Who was telling me about this? It happens when you're running, I don't know, camera things. And I don't know what it means. We're not live. We're definitely not live.
Okay, we didn't have the mic plugged in either, so what do we know?
Sure didn't. So this one might end up being on the scrap heap.
No, I think they would accept not great audio from us.
They probably would.
We have a pretty good team.
We're
all three
we're pretty entertaining to look at. You know what? People come to this one to see the dog.
That's fair.
And if that's all you get out of this, to see my new puppy, then
no, that's true. I think it won't be as bad as we think.
He's currently eating a broom right now, just in case anyone's interested.
Do you need to go get him?
No.
Okay.
No, he was trying to throw something up when I was working earlier today, and I'm like, I love you and I hate you. Can you stop with the noise? And then he's like, and I'm looking. Oh yeah, I do actually need to.
Okay, she's going to get him. And while she's doing that, I'm going to tell you about Hive Bakery. And this is a bakery out of Texas that it's run by.
Come here.
It's run by a woman. I think it's Haley Pop is her last name. And this woman is a warrior. So she's in Texas, which is can often be a pretty red state, right? And she's got this great bakery, and she does these beautiful pastries and cakes and all that kind of stuff. But she gets lots of heat from those who are into equality. And and she's been on like some baking shows, and she's really amazing. But she makes Kamala Harris and Tim Waltz cupcakes.
Ow.
Oh. She's gonna have a hickey, but she makes all these really cool things, and she's very supportive of LGBTQ2S. I never want to leave anybody out, but she's very supportive of that. She uses her voice to lift others up and demand equality. Again, in a pretty red state like Texas, it's hard. So she gets all these really crappy reviews, and then all of us go out and we write really great reviews, and we. I mean, I've ordered things and not got them. You know what I mean?
Right,
because you want to support. Now she's got all this great merchandise.
Oh, does she?
Right, and not got them only because I live here and you can't.
Yeah.
Right,
yeah.
like not because she didn't deliver, but it's really amazing, and I'm going to share the link. And if you can go and like her page and give her some love, and if you're in Texas and anywhere near there, please go see her. But she is a warrior in a time when it can be really hard to use your voice, and she keeps standing up to things. And she's had her place vandalized. Right, she's had the front of it defaced. It's been really ugly for her sometimes, and yet she keeps coming back. Wow. And she cusses, and I have to say, I might be a person that cusses, and so it's like, so she's like, if you don't like me, fuck off, right?
Yeah. And
bless her little heart,
that clears out the crowd pretty quick.
She's got a huge amount of support. I expect worldwide, because I know about her, but certainly in the U.S. And that's like, as soon as she gets merchandise in, it goes out the door, because we all want to support her.
Wow.
Right? So it's a really cool thing. We'll put the link. Please go to especially her Facebook page and give her some love, and tell her that we sent you, because I would love to have her as a guest.
That would be really fun.
She would be really cool.
That's a really good segue to another book that I downloaded thanks to BookBub this week, called
Big fans of BookBub. If you're not
Big
there,
fans of BookBub. The book is called That Librarian: The Fight Against Book Banning in America. The author's name is Amanda Jones, and I downloaded it. I just read the little bit of it. I haven't read the full thing yet, but the gist of it is, this is a librarian, a school librarian, who went to a school board meeting and stood up. She had a question or a comment at the meeting about somebody was complaining about books or something. Her comment was very, very benign, very much, no, we need to have books in the school. The children can, we'll have appropriate books, but the children need to be exposed to whatever age-appropriate material she was referencing. And the backlash that she got from that was to the point, you're talking about death threats.
Yeah.
And she had, the dog is scratching at the door now. She's driving me crazy. Why did I get another one? I don't know. But she stood her ground, and she fought back, and they were saying things about her that were so untrue. Like, it was unbelievably malicious.
Yeah.
All because she said, no, we're not going to censor the material in our children. It's going to be age appropriate. Yeah. But we're not going to censor our library for our children.
Well, and to her absolute credit, I also understand, not being a parent, but I understand if you said, okay, I don't want my child, right, to read that book. That is your prerogative as a parent. I think that could be short-sighted, but that's you as a parent. You have that right. Mm-hmm. You don't get to say that other kids don't get to read the book.
You don't get to take that book out of the library for everyone
right, that's
else.
just it.
Yeah.
But it's a little bit...
You don't take it out yourself. That's fine.
Yeah, but like you have choice, and that's my big challenge with all this stuff, including abortion and all of that. Live your life, but let me live mine. Right?
Just get the hell out of other people's
mind
business.
Your own damn business.
See,
but that's just it, and especially books, because it gives you critical thinking.
Yeah,
and there are lots of books like I see them banning stuff, and it's like, oh my gosh, that was a book that made me, whatever they're banned. Like sometimes they say stuff, and it's like, first of all, that book is stinking harmless. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. But the other side is that book actually made me look at the world differently in a good way, right? Yeah. Like. And it's really shocking to me that they're doing all these things, and there are some great books. I mean, but they're removing some real, like, freaking Charlotte's Web.
Oh, Charlotte's Web. Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret. Yeah. So many, Beloved, like, so many books that are, they have so much to say. They open your mind to a life that you...
Beyond you.
Beyond,
right? Yeah.
So far beyond you. And that's, I mean, books are like travel to me, right?
Oh, for sure.
Travel teaches you about the way the world works in a way that's not how your world works.
Well, that's just it. And the differences are magical and amazing. Yeah. And it doesn't mean you have to bring those differences home. You just have to appreciate them for what they are. And I think that's a challenge. And good for her for writing this book. I would just go buy this book to support her. Right?
Exactly.
So that we'll have a link in there. Please do this.
Yeah, go take a look.
But because we need people to stand up to this kind of stuff. You're near the wine there, Missy. But I think it's really important. So on a much lighter note, there's a restaurant in South Carolina, and from 9:30 at night until, I guess, closing for them, which seems to be 2 a.m., they have a wiener tower.
What? Did you just say wiener tower?
They have a wiener tower. Just like you know how you get a seafood tower? Well, this is hot dogs. Hot dogs and buns, and then you get all these sauces and fixins you can put on it, and then one of the layers is truffle fries. But you can't get this until, like, I expect it's for most people going after the bar or coming to the club, because it's not like. But it was like when I saw it, and we'll put a link up so you can see it. So here's how they said it. 5 of our juiciest, most I can't say it. Mouth-watering wieners stacked high, served with truffle fries and some sauces for dipping.
5?
5. So you better not have more than 5 people in your party.
Okay.
But
all right.
I was a little fascinated. Now I want to make a wiener tower. And you have the thing. You've got the things with the 3 layers. You know how you do a seafood tower? You've got one of those. It's got a little thing up here and then a little thing here and a little thing here, the serving dish.
Oh, I do. Yeah, I do have one of those.
So we could do that.
Oh, man.
Okay, then the other thing I saw.
You and your crazy ideas. Here we go again.
Oh, yeah. Who goes along with me? Who's right in there? So the other thing
she feeds me.
This woman went on a pickle eating tour that she created herself in New York City. So let me see where this all went.
Tour.
So she went on, and it was all tasting pickles. So she went to one store, and I think it was maybe called the Pickle Guys, but she had like a taste tester of like 5 different pickled things.
Ooh.
And then she went to another. There's a store there called the Pickle Bookstore where you get pickles and books. Right.
Pickles and books.
So I'm going to put the link to her thing, and I'm going to find and she tried pickled pineapple.
Ooh.
I know, right?
My grandmother made pickled watermelon.
Oh, that's interesting.
Watermelon rinds.
Oh, did you eat them?
No.
Well, how do we know if they're good?
Oh, they're not good, I'm sure. They're pickled watermelon rinds. Pickled watermelon I could get behind. Rinds, not sure. That's how I remembered anyway. But what we did at my grandmother's house was, me and my cousins, we were horrible people, youngsters. We would go down into the cellar, and our game would be to find the oldest date we could find of the preserved stuff back there. Because my grandma, both my grandmas,
right.
That's what they did, right? And we'd be like, oh, that one's from like 40 years ago. Do not. If that comes up on the table, do not eat the beets.
Oh, that's funny. I thought they were going down to find them so you could like do dares to eat them.
we knew better than to open the jars. That would have got us into big trouble. But we could talk about the age. And I'm like, if my kids went into my pantry now, all they would find is expired stuff. Probably. Fortunately, my kids would never go into my
best
pantry.
before date is different than expiry date.
All right, so Ruth and I had a field trip last week. We did it after our last
Was it
podcast.
only last week?
I think so.
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago? I don't know. Time has lost all meaning for me. No, it wasn't. Yeah, it was 2 weeks ago. My God.
It's because she has a new puppy and she's finishing up her book.
So tired. But we went to first Granville Island Market, which is super fun, and then we went to this place called Greco Market, and we met this lovely man. We don't know what his name is,
Chris.
though.
His name is Chris.
Chris?
Yes.
Oh, his name is Chris. Chris fed us. I mean, Chris gave us samples of, I don't know,
Everything
in his store, and everything.
So we bought everything.
Pretty much everything he gave us samples of, we bought because it was all delicious.
Also, I'm a little afraid because Paul listens to this podcast. But you know what those passion fruit beets cost?
No. What?
Yeah. I'll tell you later.
Okay. Well, they're fabulous.
They are fabulous.
We were just like, put that on the pile. Oh, that's delicious. Put that on the pile. Put that on. Anyway,
I could have had 2 bottles of that wine for what they cost.
Oh no.
I'll show you when we.
But okay, so we were talking. I can't believe that.
I'll show you.
That's awful.
Well, maybe
Paul,
one bottle.
it's fine. Don't worry.
It's all
about
good.
It. It's all good.
It's delicious.
But we're in there.
Next time I'll check the prices closer.
And there was somebody else in there at the same time, and they got into a conversation, and they were talking. Somebody made a comment about expiration dates, and I'm like, yeah, I mean, I have a husband who goes through the fridge regularly and takes everything out, and he's like, do you know how far expired this is? I'm like, it's a pickled thing. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's been in the fridge the whole time. It's like, no, I just haven't finished it yet. Don't mess with my shit. But he always does. And I mean, probably he's saved my life I don't know how many times. These guys, Chris and his buddy in the store, they're like, and he's a chef. You can tell. He's a home.
The guy he was talking to? Or Chris?
Chris and the guy he was
both of
talking to.
them.
They were both accomplished home chefs for sure. He's like, everything in my fridge is beyond the best before date. That's how it works. It's a guideline. And I'm like, I love you so much.
Best before is different than expired.
We'll kill you after.
Yeah.
Yeah. Doesn't mean we'll kill you after.
No, it just means it might not be at its prime.
Yes, not at its prime. It means you can't sue us if your teeth fall out after you eat it.
And also best before is also a marketing ploy to make you buy new things.
Right.
Especially spices.
Ooh, yeah. Yeah.
So I bought a big chunk of cheese that was marked down from like $25 to $4.99, which makes up for the other thing from him because he showed me, because he said, here's the best before date, and it was like 3 days later. Okay. But he said, this is aged cheese. It's just going to get stinky. Like, it's just going to become more flavorful.
Yeah.
Right? And it's like, you have to know this stuff.
Yes.
Like, don't drink orange juice that's frothing like it's in a mimosa. That's a bad thing. But if you have cheddar that's been aged for 6 years, as long as it doesn't have mold on it, you're pretty safe.
Well, and you know what?
Just cut off the mold.
Mold is
Who's talking to you?
Mold is part of cheese. Is somebody talking to me?
I don't know. That's
mold
probably
is
old.
Part of cheese.
Yeah.
Like it literally is part of the process.
Cheese.
So you just cut it off.
Yeah,
and you
but
eat
that's
it.
just it. It's kind of crazy.
You don't mess around with meat. Like,
no, yeah,
you don't have meat or like even soft cheese, but like hard cheese. Oh my god, it's a guideline. And anything in a pack, I don't know. Canned things. I am particular about preserved things. I need to know that they've been preserved properly.
No, that's exactly. It's got to be proper.
But once I know that, if you've got the little, lids, you can pop them.
Yeah.
If the lid is popped, nope, it's going down the drain.
Yeah.
Sorry, but
nope, that's exactly like it's just you have to be smart about it. But it is. It's like, there are certain things that it's like. Because we don't drink a lot of cow's milk in our house, but sometimes I need it for a recipe, right? And so sometimes it's like if it's the day of or the day after, and I'm cooking it and using it, then I'll use it.
Well, you can smell if it's
but that's just it. Milk is easy to do, right? Like it's like, and meat is I'm a little sensitive about that. As soon as if I get any kind of little whiff, it's like it's over, right?
No.
But there are other things like honestly, If you have maple syrup in the fridge, it lasts forever if it's closed right.
It's nothing can grow in the syrup.
Yeah.
It's too sweet.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
It's
Some
a whole
scientist is going to come on here if we got so
tell us.
lucky to have scientists listening to us and tell me I'm full of shit, and that's fine.
Okay, what time is it? What the hell happened to my phone?
It's 5:20.
Okay, so how long have we been on here? Oh, 34 minutes, so we're doing okay. Okay, so let's talk about the word of the week. Do you have a word of the week?
No, I thought you did.
I thought you did.
Wait.
Okay, we'll do a word of the week next time. We'll start that. Okay, what about watch party gifts?
Yeah, we can talk about that.
Who are you texting, man?
It's
somebody.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've had a few questions about the watch party gifts, and when Roxanne comes back to us,
sorry,
it's okay. It was important text.
It was important text. We have talked about how we are hoping to grow our audience in the next year, and we were talking about watch party gifts last time. So you get together with 3 of your friends,
three or more.
You can have more friends, and take a picture and send it to us, or post it on Facebook or Instagram and tag us.
Yep.
Ruth and
Happy Hour with Ruth and Roxy.
Yeah, Happy Hour with Ruth and Roxy. Or you can send it to us.
Yep.
And if you're watching us, if we can see you on the screen and you guys are all watching and laughing and having a drink and having a good time, we will send you a
Happy Hour with Ruth and Roxy. That's what it's called, Roxanne.
Insulated wine glass. I will put
insulated.
I heard inflated. Insulated wine glass.
But it could be inflated. I mean, I don't know.
A piece of personalized jewelry made by Ruth and an autographed book by me, and I can give you some options.
Yes.
But we're just really hoping that we can enlarge our little community here, because we are not for everybody by any means, but you know what? There's lots of people that just need somebody else to have a glass of wine with on a Friday afternoon, and just
or a Saturday morning.
Whenever,
like, we don't judge.
Whenever, we don't care.
Yep.
We don't care. And maybe you guys are dog lovers. Maybe you're foodies. Maybe you're travel people.
Maybe you just need somebody who's gonna say fuck the patriarchy once in a while.
Yep.
Right.
Yep,
like,
exactly.
Like
Mind your own
it's
damn
a
business.
thing. Mind your own damn business.
Maybe you need somebody to just kick back and
Yep.
it's sometimes, I mean, you've seen it here. You almost saw it here today. Sometimes we get really mad about stuff. And sometimes you just need to be mad with somebody else.
Yep. Or to hear somebody voice disappointment or frustration or anger about something that you're feeling that way too, right? Like just that, and because then you don't feel alone. Because honestly, it's one of the most magical. But we have lots of benefits of our friendship, but that's one of the things because sometimes it's just nice to know, even if that person doesn't quite feel as passionate, but that they get it. Right?
Somebody who can say, "Oh wow, yeah, I hear you."
Yeah,
that's us. So we'll be there for you.
Yeah.
You can also put us on in your house and let your dog think that you're home when you're not home.
Or it keeps our screechy voices keep burglars away.
Nobody wants to get in on this.
No, but it is. But do it. We are going to grow it. I'm going away. It's a for a client, a bunch of client meetings in Maui, which I know is really hard.
She has a really rough life. She has to go to Maui for work.
But I'm going to work on, we're going to have a I'm going to work on a bit of a marketing plan for it. We are going to get out there. We're going to do some ads. We're going to do some stuff. But the most important part for us is you guys, because you have like-minded people in there. We want to build a community. Imagine if we could build it up enough that we could get enough people that wanted to maybe go on a trip or hang out somewhere or do something really cool, right?
Wouldn't that be fun if we could do Happy Hour with Ruth and Roxy and you guys could all be with us?
Yeah, like we could all be together to do the happy hour every day and then travel. It would be so much fun, but we have to build it out a bit.
Yeah.
And also, like, we want to keep doing this, and honestly it's not like
we're going to keep doing it anyway.
Yeah, we
so
are.
It doesn't matter.
But it's not like it's a huge expense. But imagine if we can build the community a bit, so when we recommend something, there's a little bit of referral fee for us, because we'll still never recommend something we don't believe in. But what if we can use that to do some good in the world?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, there's a way to do this. It doesn't cost anybody anything. We become a collective.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And yet, the Amazon, whatever they're called, I never remember, affiliates and stuff like that. Like there's ways out there that it doesn't cause anybody to it doesn't cost anybody money, but we can make a bit of money and think about the things we could do in the world, right? Mm-hmm. The things with that small change, like when like my heart is broken for all the people that are dealing with the hurricanes in the U.S.
Gosh,
right?
yeah,
Like what if we could do little GoFundMe's and we become a collective that makes the world a better place. Right? Like there's stuff like
started. That's how this started.
Yeah.
We were getting together already, talking about our lives and how what's good, what's bad, what's working, what's not. How can we improve? How can we become better people? How can we
make
our
a good
little
impact
world
on
a better
the world,
place?
right?
And that's how this started. And you guys have just been so warmly welcoming and joining us
and jumped in. Like you've jumped in because it's your community too. Right? Just because we have the record button here, it's our community. Because honestly, without your comments after it's like your comments like energize us and give us ideas and
100%.
And you're also really good at giving us feedback when it's like, yeah, that didn't work, it's too long, it's too short, it's too whatever.
Right? We've heard both. We've heard it's too long and it's too short.
Story of our lives, right?
But we're gonna say thank you to Connie, thank you to Beth, thank you to
Beverly, my sister.
Beverly, thank you to Allison Knoll, thank you to we've got so many names of people who
that are always commenting and talking about us and being thoughtful. And honestly, that's really important. And please share and help us grow the community, because you don't know what magic can come out of it when we grow. And maybe there's somebody out there that really needs a place to belong, right? Even a virtual place to belong.
Yeah.
So now, having said that, we're going to add to our gratitudes, right? To our gratefuls.
Okay.
We're going to add what one thing have you done this week that scared you, that you overcame? And this comes from, so there was a time, and I think it was early on when we were trying to grow our communications company and do stuff, and it really felt life was hard at that moment. You know what I mean? Like it was just like, is this going to work? What have I done? I gave up.
It's hard to open
the whole thing.
Business. And
then I read this book, and I'm going to forget the author's name, which is terrible, but it's called My Year with Eleanor. And it's a real, there'll be a link in the thing, but it's a really good book. And Eleanor Roosevelt once said, I'm paraphrasing, but every day do something that scares you. Well, we don't want to put that on people because every day is a lot. But this blogger took this on, and every day she did something, and she had just lost her job, I think at a publishing house or like something. And so she took it on and she wrote a blog, and this is it's fictionalized, but it's real, right, kind of thing. And so she did, and it would get sometimes to be 11:45 at night, like it was about to be the next day, and she hadn't done something. So she would run up and down her hallway in her apartment naked, because that scared the hell out of her, right? So
scared the hell out of a lot of people.
She took these big leaps of faith, right?
Wow.
And she did these things, and so I was thinking, stepping out of your comfort zone. And I did that this week. So we've told you guys about Supernatural, the workout, the VR workout that we do. They've just started this thing.
In the last episode. So check that out if you haven't seen it.
Yeah. But it's they've just released this program, I guess, where you can work out together with people. But you have to have two people there. And Roxanne, I get up way earlier and work out, and Roxanne tends to work out later in the day. So it's not always easy for us.
When I don't have a puppy.
Well, yeah, that's different now. It's different now. You're up.
Yeah, life is not the same.
It is turned upside down. But so what I did earlier, because Roxanne and I did the first one together, and it was really fun.
It was really fun.
All these extra features. It's really cool. It's a bit not competitive against each other, but you want to get
you're trying to be a team.
Yeah, you're trying to be a team.
Yeah.
And so I went in, and what you can do is if there's people waiting to do a workout with somebody else, you can go join them, right? Which is not me. Like I'm telling you, the reason why I work out at home with virtual reality is because I don't want to go to a gym and I don't want to talk to anybody. But I went in and I did it, and I had so much fun. And then I went in and did it again, and I had the most and my mic's not on because I can't figure out how to do it, but also I'm afraid they're going to hear me like going. But I worked out yesterday morning with this really interesting guy. So he's got rainbow colored hair. He looks a bit like a rocker, a partier, because you see who you work out with.
Oh, right? I see. Okay.
And so when I got in, it was just both of us, and he's got his mic on, so I can hear him, right? And he kind of, and I don't think you realize when you're in the headset that you talk to yourself, right? Like you say things, right? And when you miss stuff, it's like, damn it, right? And there's all sorts of stuff that happens, so I can hear him. But he was really encouraging, and it seems like, I think he's a from his little bio, he's a musician, and he seemed like one of those really cool guys that if you walked into a bar and he was there, you'd be a bit intimidated that he's the cool guy. Okay. And yet he was really lovely, and he's got some kind of a southern accent, and he was like, "Good job, Ruth." And he said it was so charming and lovely and welcoming. And it really felt like, so then I followed him. I don't know if he's followed me back because I don't know, but it was a real, and then he got a phone call, and I think he said it was from ES, which I was thinking emergency services, and because he had a southern accent, I wondered if he was in the hurricane zone or something. Like they were just, I don't know that for sure, but because he had to take a phone call, and then we didn't get the little story, and he's like, "I'm so sorry," but of course I don't have a mic on, so but I'm like, it's okay. But,
your avatar is like forgiving him all over the place.
but the other. I went out of my comfort zone because honestly, when you go into that, you're a bit afraid, like, oh, what if I don't live up and we don't get a little star? What if we do this? I've twice or three times I've gone in. Everybody has been so welcoming, and you can clap and you can high five, and but that is way out of my comfort zone. Yeah. Right. So totally. Did you do? Oh, I know what you did this week. You've been up early every morning walking your dog.
No, but I will say, so I tend to be somebody who I'm a bit more deliberate when it comes to reacting about. I avoid conflict. Let's just say it. I avoid conflict. I don't like confrontation and conflict. We had a little thing happen in the community this week, and there was a question in my mind, and I decided to just put it out there. We have a Facebook group for our community, and so I put the question out into our Facebook group. I'm like, I don't understand what's happening here. Can you explain this? This seems like it's a mistake, but I don't know. So can somebody tell me?
It was very respectful, but also out of your comfort zone.
It's out of my comfort zone, and well, it turned into a shit show actually. But
a good shit show because people showed their colors.
Well, and for me, it was like I want to call things when I see them. I want to be somebody who stands up for what's right and who calls out. I don't want to be somebody who nitpicks others to death. Absolutely not. That's not it. But when I see injustice or errors or incompetence or anything like that, I want to say...
Or gaslighting.
Oh, gaslighting's... Yeah. Can't handle that. So I'm pretty tolerant for the most part. But for me to respectfully stand up and say, I don't understand, I don't agree, could you please explain?
Yeah, which is incredibly respectful.
It's really important. Right? So I did that this week.
No, but that's a big thing.
I'm trying to do more of that.
Yep.
But
that's a really big thing, and I think many of us, because the reason that sort of for me this community really works is as introverts, it's on our terms.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
Like for all of you out there, you can watch when it works for you. Mm-hmm. You can, there's all this stuff, and I think taking those baby steps. Look at how cute he is.
He's so cute.
Yeah,
he's such a monster.
But I think that's a really big thing. Like I think those are pretty big achievements, and so we're going to add these in every podcast. And please tell us what you did out of your comfort zone. What you took a step. That would be really awesome.
We'd love to hear that. What did you do that was out of your comfort zone that scared you a little bit, and you said, no, I'm going to take my bully bean, and I'm going to take courage from it, and I'm going to do something that's hard for me today, or I'm going to stand up for somebody. We'd love to know that.
Yeah,
that would
that's a really awesome thing, right? And I think again, it goes back to this community and that movement. What if we could encourage each other and support each other to do that thing every couple of weeks, because the podcast only right, but every couple of weeks. What if we could encourage each other to do a little bit more that we want to do? Right, it is a really big thing.
And that's and this is also partly why we started this podcast. Is we want to be constantly growing as people. We want to become better. We want to become better.
Our what was it? No, our favorite selves.
Our favorite selves.
Not our best selves, because that implies that you're not your best self now. And I think everybody is their best self with what the tools they have at that moment, right? But we want to become our favorite selves. Where
we want to learn more and grow more, and then put that to use and be better people and benefit the community that we live in,
and benefit this community.
And in the language that I grew up in, it would be, we want to be serving the Lord. We want to be following our mission. We want to be doing the things that we put on the earth to do. And I'm not religious anymore, but that language,
but of service, like I've got we have this one client, and it is a of service leadership that they have there, because they don't think their role is to tell people what to do. It's how to lift people up so they can work out what should be done.
Oh yeah.
Right, and it's a really beautiful thing. But I think that's exactly if we can be of service to each other, because this is not a one-way street, right? This is a community where engagement and feedback is important. But imagine if we're modeling behavior where you can say, perhaps to the young ones in our life, especially I have to say a little bit, the young girls, right, is like, sometimes I'm scared, but I do it, right? You know what I mean? Or and I think probably to young boys too, but it's a different thing, because I mean, at least the young boy in your life is like trying to throw rocks at people.
So I raised three daughters, and now I have one granddaughter and two grandsons, and I will have another granddaughter.
And one of the grandsons is Wee.
Oh my God. My 2-year-old grandson he's all about grandpa and other grandpa. And mommy and grandma are like afterthoughts, really distant afterthoughts.
Unless he doesn't feel good.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a whole different thing.
They see the world very differently.
They see the world differently, yeah.
But I think if we can model the behavior that maybe that we would have liked to have, I guess, and being able to say, wow, I was kind of scared to do this, but I tried. Right? I think that, because my big thing was back, because it was like, but what if I fail? Right? And I was lucky, because my mom was a bit ahead of her time, but her thing was always like, but what if you succeed? Right?
What a great message.
And that's just it. But it gets lost sometimes in the day-to-day of stuff, right?
So it'll be out by the time you see this. But my sister Connie, who was a guest with us a week or two ago, an episode or two ago, which would be a month or so ago, and she did a guest blog post about an organization she's been involved with in years called Gentle Teaching. And the basic nutshell tenet is, if you feel safe, you will behave to your best ability. And Gentle Teaching is primarily working with people with disabilities. Those are that have pretty big life challenges, right? Life challenges. Connie talked in her blog post about how she employs that with her kids and her grandchildren. Because I mean, grandkids are challenging. You anybody with challenging behavior. I mean, I've often said, raising kids is a lot like raising puppies. It's very similar in many ways. You need them to bond with you. You need them to love you and feel safe before they can learn anything. And I very much remember that from school. I was a nervous, shy kid in school a lot of the time. It's a wonder that I learned what I did, because I was pretty much terrified the whole time. But when I felt safe, that's when I could learn. And that's how we all are. When you feel safe, you can learn.
It's a whole different. And the blog post it's really interesting. And I think one of the things, and I'm not sure if Connie phrased it this way, but I've heard it a couple of times recently. You have to meet people where they are. Right. And I think that's really important, because each of us have strengths and maybe not so strength. Right, like I never want to call it weakness, because I don't always think, because the things that somebody might see as me being a bit of an introvert or a little bit of an overthinker, they might see it as weakness, but in some cases it's a strength. Right, like there's all sorts of that there. But I think it's really important, but also for us to show that we're doing it when we're getting, because I know for the most part our audience skews a little bit sort of 40, 50, 60 kind of and upwards. Mature women, right? Mostly. But wise women. But it is also one of those where it's like, but if we can model the behavior, because the difference between how somebody takes it in, if you're modeling it and you're telling them, right? Telling people is like, whatever, man. But if you're modeling it, it's like, oh, look at how that worked.
So I was involved in a mothering group when my kids were small, called
mothering group. When she said that, I heard smothering.
La Leche League, and it was basically You remember, you've heard of it, and it was basically a breastfeeding support group, but it was very much about parenting. And the one of the sort of mantras was, mothering is caught, not taught.
Oh yeah.
And that behavioral idea of, you learn from what you see around you, as opposed to a lecture from the top down, right? You learn from what you see around you. Your children will learn from what they see around you. They don't listen to what you tell them so much as what you show them. And this is just like, that's writing 101.
Yeah.
It's show it, don't tell it.
No, that's exactly, because that's, people take it in, you can take it in intellectually, but until you actually see these behaviors in practice, it doesn't make sense to you, right? It's really, it is really, look at us, we're already at an hour, and we thought this was going to be a short one. Okay, we got to do our Gratefuls.
It's going to be short when I edit it, because I'm
No, you can't take it, the first is good. No, I should edit this one. It's so you guys are okay with crappy sound, right? You just leave it in, man.
I can't believe we didn't. So we have truly had a week. We won't go into it, but we had somebody stop by, like literally just as we were about to start recording here, and it was important, and we needed to have the conversation, and it was good. And but we got a little
kerfuffled.
We got a little kerfuffled, and then we're like, yeah, we're not in the right mood. We should just maybe we can get something good out of it.
And we did get something good.
And so we did start, but we had 20 minutes without a mic.
I'm going to figure out sound stuff. I'm going to fix it.
Okay, you fix it. I got to finish my fucking book before I lose my mind.
Okay, let's talk about Gratefuls now, Roxanne.
Gratefuls?
Are you grateful that your book's about to be done?
Oh, I wish I was grateful that my book was my book is about to be done. I'm in revisions right now. The revisions are normally my favorite part, but right now, it is all coming together. It's just a lot of work, and for this particular book, for some reason, there's a lot of emotional resonance for me that I need to lean into, and it is hard to lean into this stuff. It's not. It's very uncomfortable, and my first drafts of books, and I write books about relationships, and usually my first drafts, there's people with a lot of kind of unnuanced personalities. So they're mean, they're bitter, they're hard, they're unlikable, they're harsh, because I'm looking for the conflict. And it's not until I can work through that a little bit that I can kind of get to some of the underpinnings, or why they feel this way, and what is actually their soft spot, what is the wound that they have to recover. That is such friggin' hard work. I hate it. I'm so over it. I'm so over it. But I'm finding it in this book. But oh my God, it has taken me so much work, and I friggin' hate it. What are you looking at me for? Here we go again.
There's your grateful in there. I can feel it. It can come out.
My grateful is that I know it will happen. I am grateful for the confidence that after 30 books, I know that this will come.
That's good. See, that's good. Finding the silver lining, right? You know it will come.
You want another F-bomb here?
Sure. Fill your boots, man.
I am so fucking tired of this job and this book. Oh my God, I hate it so much. And yet I know it's going to be fine. It's going to be
great. It's a great series.
I don't know if it's going to be great. I need this ending to stick, and it is not sticking yet.
But it will, which is why you're feeling a little bit tortured right now, right? Because you care about it. And this is something, this to me, and this is the first series I've been with you through, but to me, there is something about this series that has really grabbed your soul. And there's some kind of little battle going on in there.
Yeah, there sure is.
Yeah.
I got angels and demons inside me, man.
Yeah.
They're just battling it out.
Yep. And so she's going to have another glass of wine, so she'll be okay.
Yeah. Okay.
It would be good. She will be fine.
I'm listening to I'm awake at night. Oh, is he whining in his crate? Do I need to take him out? No, I can go back to sleep for a while. Wait, is he whining again? No. The freaking dog sleeps for 10 hours straight. He's not wet his crate.
But I also understand, like that, because you're hyper vigilant about it.
Yeah.
And you're hyper vigilant about getting the book in on time. There's a whole bunch going on in your world, right?
My blood pressure medication is not working, you guys.
Because she needs to finish the book.
What are you grateful, Ruth? Let's get off me. My God, help us all.
I'm grateful that we're going to use our little pizza oven to make pizza in 5 minutes.
So if I come back next time with no eyebrows, it'll be because we couldn't remember.
Yeah, we're not really good at
You know what?
it.
The next time we come back, I will have gone to my microblading
That's a
appointment.
good grateful.
Yeah, so you can see me from a distance.
Her eyebrows are pretty good though. Like I'm a little
because I draw them in. That's why
they look really nice.
Yes, they do. I do a good job. I've learned over a couple of years, but I'm tired of doing it. So I'm hoping that she can do it so they just look normal, and not, as my sister calls them, caterpillar eyebrows.
Yeah.
So I don't want those.
No. I'm sure
I think she'll be fine. I'm pretty sure that is next week. So, yeah, we'll see how that goes. Also, I have to leave my puppy behind for that appointment.
Where are you going?
I don't know. I think it's Tuesday or Wednesday.
I keep telling her I'm here, and she's like, "Oh no, puppies are hard work."
Yeah.
Seriously,
you guys get grown-up dogs. You're smarter than me. by a lot with
No,
that.
we can help.
He can. I don't know if I told you this. I put him in his crate when we went. I was over at their place. She invited me. My husband's golfing. She's like, "Come over for dinner. I'm just throwing some things together. Let's have a glass of wine." So I went over there. I said, "Well, I gotta put the dog in the crate, but I gotta teach him how to use the crate. He needs to know that. And he's fine at night, but he needs to learn during the day." So I put him in his crate, and I came back and I checked him once. He was all quiet. It was all good. And then when I came back home, he's barking in his crate. The crate is tipped over. It's sideways. Like, I don't know what he was doing in there.
Puppiness. That's what it is. She's grateful for her new puppy too.
I am in love with my new puppy.
Yeah.
I'm
He's pretty
complaining
cute.
about him a lot right now.
But he's pretty cute.
So what do we want more of, Ruth?
We want more happy hours. What do we want? Less of?
Oh my God, less bullshit. You guys, thank you for being here with us.
Thank you.
We love you all.
We
please
do.
Give
and
us comments.
And please tell us all the things. Tell us what you've done that you stepped out of your comfort zone. I'm really interested in that.
Yes, I want to know that for sure. Oh my God.
Okay, I'm hoping it's not off now, but we're not really good at this anymore, you guys.
No,
okay,
kind of...
we'll talk to you soon, you guys. Bye.